Hi, I'm Asia, and welcome back to the Strange Days Diaries. Today I'm going to talk all about my top 10 most annoying things about traveling and living out of a minivan, specifically my 34-year-old Chevy Astro van. These are going to be in no particular order, so I figure let's just get right into it. Number one is that anytime I turn on my hazard lights, I cannot turn them off just by pressing the button. I actually literally have to bring out pliers and turn them off with the pliers. It's actually kind of a long story, but my hazard lights got stuck on one day. Like, I turned them on and they literally would not turn off. I could not turn them off. Hi, it's Editing Asia here. Chiming in really quick because I went on and on and on about the story behind why I have to turn my hazard lights off with pliers, and I just wouldn't shut up about it. And in my opinion, the story just went way too long. If you really want to know the story, I will have it written down in the description below, but otherwise I'm gonna cut it here. So I can press it to turn the hazard lights on, but it's super hard to pull out and turn off the hazard lights unless I use pliers. So that's kind of an annoying thing, but it's also kind of funny that I just have pliers in my glove box at all times, specifically to turn my hazard lights off. Number two is that my driver's side window does not always roll down during the first try. I don't have automatic windows because, again, this is a 34-year-old van, so I've got the old classic crank windows, which I actually prefer and I like. But on the driver's side window, I don't know what's wrong. I could probably take the door apart and figure it out, but I'd say easily half the time that I go to roll down the window, it won't roll down past like halfway. And the way to fix this is by just simply rolling it back up all the way and then trying again, and keep trying until it rolls all the way down. Generally speaking, on the second or third try, it will roll all the way down. Again, no idea what's going on, but because it just always ends up working on the second or third try, I've never gone through the process of like opening up the door to figure out why the window doesn't roll down all the way the first try. Number three is that my passenger door keyhole is oriented the opposite of the rest of the keyholes in the van. And what I mean by that, and I might not be saying it right, keyhole, I'm assuming that's what it's called, but basically if I want to unlock any of the doors on the van, I orient my key one way to put my key into the keyhole, unlock the door, and open the door. But on the passenger side, I have to orient my key the opposite way, like flip it upside down basically, put it into the keyhole, unlock the door, and open it. I guess it was installed different. Well, obviously it was installed different from the rest of the doors, but it's an annoying thing that I had to learn. And if I ever have family or friends like take my key to go unlock the van for me, I have to like specifically tell them like, oh, the passenger door, it's like opposite. You gotta like unlock it the opposite. I don't know. It's just annoying. Number four is that my good old steering wheel, I don't know why it does this, but it tends to be like the first time I turn the van on during the day, or if it's been sitting for an hour and I turn it on when I start driving and start kind of getting up to speed, like 5 or 10 miles per hour, the steering column and like the wheel itself will groan really loud. It's so weird. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. It can be annoying and it's like kind of jarring. Some days it's louder than others, but it is kind of funny when I have a friend riding with me and my whole steering wheel column just like groans super loudly, but it is annoying, definitely. Next is that my AC or heat or hot air is always blowing out of my vents. I don't know why. I feel like that's the theme of this video. I don't know why, because I just don't know why these things are happening. But even if my AC or heat or fan is completely off, there's still air blowing through the vents. And basically what I figured out is that whatever temp I have like the meter AC or hot air set to is the temperature of air that will be blowing through the vents at all times. So even though it's off, the air is off, AC is off, heat is off, there's still air blowing through the vents. And yeah, if it's set to hot, it'll be hot air. If it's set to AC, it'll be cool air. It's weird and it's pretty annoying, but it's just a weird quirk of the van, I guess. Next up on the list of annoying things of my van is that it does not get good gas mileage. If you saw my last video praising minivan Vanlife, then you know that I did talk about how minivans get great gas mileage. And that's because in that video, I was comparing minivans to full-size vans and RVs, because in comparison, minivans get great gas gas mileage, but on its own, it doesn't get good gas mileage. I think I get maybe 18 miles per gallon on the highway and a lot less in the city. So that's kind of annoying, but I love this van literally with all my heart, and I will take the bad gas mileage any day if it means I can have this van. Next up is that my back doors leak when it rains. I've talked about this in previous videos, and I have come up with a solution. I will link a video below called like Brilliant Chevy Astro Solutions, or I forgot what the name of the video is, but I'll link it below, and I talk all about my rain magnet solution. And it's basically a magnet that I put on top of my back doors, and it prevents the back doors from leaking when it's raining. But it is annoying. Obviously, it's an extra step I have to do every single time it's raining, like today. If you can't notice, it's literally pouring rain today. So my rain magnet is on, but it would be nice if I didn't have to think about a rain magnet and if the seals on my back doors just simply worked. And also, side note, I know I could replace the seals, but if you know anything about first gen Astros, you know that the body physically was built poorly to not really prevent leaking. Even with brand new seals, if I replace the seals, it would still probably leak, or it's almost guaranteed to leak, just because literally the body wasn't built to prevent leaks. It sucks. It's a whole thing. Research it. Yeah. Next up is that my slider door does not always open smoothly or open at all. Well, that's kind of a lie. It pretty much, I'd say 99% of the time opens normally and correctly, but every now and then it just won't open. And actually, when I bought the van, I noticed that someone had cut like a hole in the side of the van that exposes these sort of rods for the slider door. And I quickly learned, just by owning and using the van and using the slider door, that they cut that hole in the side of the door because if the slider is having problems not wanting to open, I basically have to reach my hand inside the door where that hole is cut and mess around with the rods and manipulate and pull the rods just random different ways, and eventually the door will open. But because I use my slider door all the time, this hasn't been an issue. I think that just using it often helps keep it in check and not start catching and not wanting to open, which is helpful. But it is something that is annoying for sure. My next annoying point is more of an interior build regret and something that is annoying, and that is that I did not build in a spot for my dirty laundry. By watching other van life videos, I have seen that a lot of van lifers have talked about this, and it's something that a lot of us overlook when we're working on our interior build for a van. And my solution has just been, I bought a little like wicker basket, and that is where my dirty laundry goes, but it does take up real estate on my floor and floor space, and I am in a minivan, so that's annoying. I just wish that I'd thought of this when I was building out the van, and I wish I'd thought of a spot to put my dirty laundry that isn't in a basket on the floor. And my last annoying thing that I want to touch on in this video is that my reverse lights don't always work. Actually, they almost always work, but they kick on really late, and sometimes they don't kick on at all. So that's not good. So I basically have to, anytime I'm driving at night, which I try not to drive at night. I don't love driving at night, but obviously sometimes I have to drive at night. And if I ever have to reverse at night, I'm just super aware and really conscious of who and what is behind me, what's about to come up behind me when I'm reversing, because I know that my reverse lights don't always kick on, or they kick on late. So I just try to reverse when nobody's around, just in case the lights don't kick on. I'm sure that's something I can fix, absolutely, and I should look into it, but it is an annoyance for now. And it's like a safety thing. I really should look into that. But I will say I like hardly ever drive at night, so that's good. Although I guess it's a safety thing during the day too. I don't know. Sometimes they kick on like normal. I don't know. Maybe it's an old van thing. I don't know. But that's it for my list of annoying van things. Isn't that crazy? I can't think of anything else. Those are my top 10 things. There's tiny little micro things, but I can't even think of that off the top of my head right now. I freaking love this van. And everything I listed in this video is by no means a deal breaker. And a lot of it I can fix. There's genuinely no other van I would rather live and travel out of. I have so much fun in this old Chevy Astro van of mine, who I named Spec, by the way. I love her with all my heart. Chevy Astro vans are actual literal beasts. They're built on a truck chassis, if I'm not mistaken. They're super hardcore. They last a long time. They're super sturdy. This is a 34-year-old van and she's still running strong. So that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I drop new videos to the channel twice a week, and I drop a short about once a week. So lots of cool, fun Strange Days Diaries content coming, a lot of travel content coming. And yeah, I just appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Comment below If there were any points that resonated with you that I made that are so annoying, maybe you have a van, what are your annoying things about your van? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.